I believe we
Excellent
are live.
condition apparently. Okay, let's see. Said
With me,
excellent
okay, and you
condition, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Let me just make 100% sure. Looks like it. It said it's public and it's live, so I guess we can go.
great stuff. So, hi everyone. Welcome back to our monthly Scrappy Sunday chats with myself, Leanie, and Mariette. So, today is episode 13, Mariette.
Yes, episode 13. Hi everyone, my name is Mariette, also known as the Boervrouw, and welcome back. We are so glad that you are here to join us today. We've been looking forward to this all week.
Yes. And can I just say, look, the weather is changing. We are both actually wearing shawls. Did you see, Mariette?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
it's see here it's gonna become autumn, and yeah, it's been chilly here today, and actually yesterday as well. But anyway, I will talk about this in a bit. But tell me what shawl are you wearing? Let's get that out of the way.
This is my twists and turns. I'm so excited for the weather changing so I can finally start wearing it. I don't know what to do with this. It's too big, but I love it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yes,
Oh,
that's
hi,
beautiful. I'm loving
Rosemary.
your colors. Hi, Rosemary. I'm loving the colors of that. That is a special kit that Mincy dyed up for you in the colors you've chosen, hey?
Yes, yes. I've got my yarn fairy godmother.
It's good to have one of those.
Yes. And what are you wearing?
I am wearing the Outstranding shawl, which is a design. I'm not going to take it off. I will just show it because it's too cool. It is the Outstranding shawl by, now I've forgotten who the designer is. It was the make along that Nitty Natty and Yania hosted. And we all had to vote. They chose 3 patterns and we had to vote which one we would like to knit. And this is the one that won. And I knitted it. But you know what? This morning when I put this on for the second time, because yesterday I was wearing it all day, I saw that I am giving people a little bit of misinformation, but I did not realize.
Yeah?
This is actually not mosaic knitting, but also stranded colorwork knitting. And I thought my socks is the only stranded colorwork knitting. But when this point flopped over, I was like, what is this? Stranded colorwork, I forgot about this.
Oh,
But it wasn't
goodness.
on small circumference for my defense.
Yeah. Okay. It's beautiful. It bugs me that I cannot remember the designer's name now. I also voted for her and now I can't remember the name.
I will look it up and then let's try. Um, Christie
So
Archer.
there you go. Well done.
Sorry for
As,
interrupting you.
how's life been?
Life's been very busy actually, and busy in a sense that I don't always like as well. I've been busy with the bakery and all of the other things, but I've also been a bit sick, so so that's why I'm wearing the shawl. I'm keeping myself covered because I'm still barking like a dog a little bit. I was so glad to see that I've got a mute button. If I need to, I will mute myself. So yeah, it's been all head cold type of thing with sinus and yeah. Not following your diet is not a very good idea, people.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, I was naughty and I brought it onto myself. So, but I'm already feeling much better. I was really sick. I was like doing nothing for 3 days. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know if you heard on the latest podcast episode, my voice is very, very wonky. It sounds like something went wrong with my sound. But anyway,
Yeah. I actually didn't
and
pick it up
else,
to be honest.
no, that's good. That's good. So, how's things on your side? How's the studies going and all of those things?
It's going. I'm working. Yeah, so I actually haven't had any podcasts recorded and posted lately. And people actually ask me, is everything okay? Am I alright? And yes, thanks, I am. I'm just super busy traveling a lot for work as well, on top of the study due dates that's like this for the next 2 weeks. But I'm surviving. So fingers crossed that next weekend I can get around to sit down and record a podcast for a change. So yeah,
Oh, that will be
fingers
lovely.
crossed.
I'm sure
Yes.
people would love to catch up on your projects because even I am wanting to know what are you working on? What are you working on? We're all waiting,
Not much.
anticipation.
And the problem is not all that much because there are days that go past that I don't knit or crochet a single stitch, but that's life.
Hi, Marina.
Okay. Yeah. Uh enough of the chatter. Rosemary, thanks for the compliments. She loves both our shawls and hi Marina.
Hi, Marina. I do see
Yes.
the chat coming up here in the on the side. I will just check. I think can you see if both channels chats are coming up or not really?
I see my chat coming through.
Okay, let me just check on my side if there's something else. Then we know if we have to look there as well. Let's check.
Okay. Thanks, Rosemary. I will try my best next weekend to sit down and focus a bit.
Okay. I don't see anything on my side so far, so it looks good. But I'll keep an eye on it on the side.
Yes. Okay, let's just make sure. Okay. So the business of today is scrappy projects. Do you have anything that you want to show us, Mariette? You can go first.
Yes, yes. Um, I actually have a new project as well, but I think I'll start with my older one first. Just for people that maybe have not seen the Scrappy Sunday chat yet, let me just quickly show this. I haven't worked on the blanket itself because I decided to try and eliminate these lots of tails. So I'm making a not a magic knot ball because I'm too afraid of magic knots. And I tried a certain type of glue and it does harden the knot for me. So I decided to make a Russian join ball, basically like a magic knot, just without the magic knots. So I've been using the tutorial on Leanie's channel for doing that. This is actually my second Russian join ball. I started one and it was on my table. And when I sorted out all the yarns, I think I put it in the cupboard. So I can't find it. So I started the new one. But I've got lots of pieces to put in there. So I'll be fine for a while. So this is the blanket. I'm calling it the leftover blanket because I use true leftovers pieces that's too small for anything else. And I'm crocheting this one with the tulip stitch. So, oh yes, and while I see this, Leanie, I found out about this little stitch marker. Apparently, it
Mhm.
was part of a Advent set from Be Inspired some time ago. I guess people that bought the Advent yarn set got a set of these little stitch markers. So somebody contacted me and said she's also got one, and it came in a Advent set from Be Inspired.
Okay,
But
cool.
anyway, so that's my little blanket with my missing Russian join ball and my new one that I started, so that I can just work when I weave in these ends. I will just work with a ball until it's finished, and then maybe start another one and keep on doing that until the end of time when I finish this blanket.
Okay. Yeah. I just want us to. There we go. So on my side, oh, I am so chuffed with myself. Now I need to make myself bigger. Sorry, too many buttons to
There we
push.
go.
There we
No, that's
go.
fine.
My coziest sock memory blanket is up to date. I've added 10 squares since our last chat, Scrappy Sunday. So it's these ones that's got the stitch markers in them. So yeah,
Oh, I
I'm
love the blue.
very
Is pretty.
yes.
Very, very pretty.
So this is the coziest memories blanket by Kemper Roy, if I remember correctly. And I'm using only sock yarns that's left from yarns that I actually made socks from. And finally, since October last year, I have been able to get back up to date with this guy. I am rethinking actually the idea of turning it into a cushion cover. Maybe I will just stick to the initial plan and keep on going. I don't know. What's the point of a mind if you can't change it?
It's your project. You can do whatever you like. And it's
Yeah,
beautiful. It'll be a beautiful blanket as well as a beautiful pillow cover, whichever you decide on. That's really, really pretty. I really like it a lot.
thanks. Yeah, I didn't work on this guy at all. My corner to corner join as you go blanket, so I'm not gonna show it.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I said, I've started a new project. As if I don't have enough. I must actually be honest, I started quite a lot of new projects, but for the scrappy ones, it is just this one. So I was looking at all of these beautiful memories blankets of everybody and always wanted to make one. And then I look at someone's and I'm like, it's just not quite right. And of course, yeah, everybody that knows me knows I always like to be different. So I found a memories blanket pattern that is different. And of course, Mariette picks the thing that is always taking the longest time to do. But anyway, that's why we craft, to do things that makes us happy. So I found this memories blanket. What is it exactly called? Brioche Memories by Valerie NG on Ravelry. It is a paid for pattern, and as the name suggests, it is brioche blocks for it's like brioche mitered squares, but you actually start with a I-cord border. So this is my first one that I made. So you make an I-cord border and then you pick up the stitches in the I-cord border and then you start working your mitered square. But now I'm showing you the back side because I feel the same as the designer that this one is the prettiest for me because the front side is the proper brioche where the increases and stuff is made. I'm still debating on maybe using my tail and sewing up that opening because I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I will decide when I get a little bit further. But what is very interesting of this pattern is it is written in a way, not that I could get it right yet, but it's written in a way where she shows you how to hide all of these ends in your next I-cord. So there's a whole schematic on where should the tails of every block go. So that's very interesting. I like that idea a lot. And then after watching Nitty Natty's video on her granny stripe blanket that she washed in the washing machine with the 80% and 80% superwash, 20%, and those things that have different properties or came out differently out of the washing machine, I decided that I will only do 75% superwash or 75% wool and 25% nylon for these blocks. So, and I'm trying to stick to a proper memories fashion in doing the socks. But now, of course, I won't add, like my DB toe up socks is a mohair blend, so I'm not going to add that. But what I will do is, like this first block, I'm going to make another one of these blocks, but with the other colors of this yarn. Because I have like 5 or 6 pairs of socks in this yarn. And almost all of them have been started on a different color. So I would wind off and start with a pink. And the next pair I would wind off and start with a blue. And there's not even blue in here. It's just the pink, the purple, and the yellow. So I want to try and make blocks to represent more of the socks, but maybe not all in the same space. And then go from there. But yes, my little I-cord brioche memories blanket is 2 blocks big.
I love it. My question is, if you're going to sew it up in the back, how's the front going to change? Do you have any idea on that?
I don't think it will change. You mean the true front?
Yeah,
Because,
okay, wait. That is the
sorry,
front.
yeah, this is the front
Mm.
where it's got like I would say, an indent in between. So I don't know if I'll be able to show it properly. It's got like a little channel, open channel here. So I was thinking of just taking the um, what is it, decreases, and just like do that and sew them a little bit closer. Maybe it will take away a little bit on the size of the block, but brioche is very, very stretchy. So I think that will actually be helpful in a way to give it a little bit more structure, because that's why it's designed with the I-cord edges, is to give it some structure. Otherwise, the brioche will just go boom, you know.
Understand. Okay.
But yes,
Huh.
I'm enjoying this a lot. I have discovered that I am a little bit in love with brioche, and it's so
And
squishy.
yeah, that's gonna be a real, um, really cozy blanket. What size
I
needles do you use? I don't know if you mentioned. Sorry.
No, I did not mention. Thanks for asking, because I forgot. I've got so carried away on all the instructions and all the things. It is knit on a 3.5 millimeter needle. So my Scrappy project's got its own needle. I bought a needle for it specifically because I couldn't handle. I want to do something with my 3.5 interchangeable needle, and then I don't have it. So this one and the Battenberg is sharing a needle. And that's the other reason why I decided, let me do this, because got the stuff, and yeah, I'm very chuffed. I'm enjoying it very much. It takes a long time.
Mm.
I timed myself, but when you do something for the first time and you don't know how it's done, and you have to look up and go to a tutorial. I think it took me 1.5 hours to do this first one, because I was on this tutorial and on that and putting in lifelines,
Yes.
but it was still fun. Lots of fun.
Okay. I just quickly want to check for us. Marina is saying it sounds complicated. I feel the
I
same.
think it sounds so, but if you just get into the hang of it, I think it'll be easier. And I'm starting to realize where to actually pick up the stitches in the I cord, and it's one color brioche, so Very nice to knit on. It's quite a rhythm. You never pull. You just bark and slip, and that's it.
Rosemary agrees with Marina.
I see that.
Hi,
I was like
Suzette.
of a punishment, apparently. I see.
No, I am convinced actually that you are. Suzette is saying she's looking forward to the podcast. Thanks, Suzette. Loving all of our blankets, and the brioche is stunning. So
Thank you.
the complicatedness is going to pay off.
Yes, no, of course. Everything is complicated when you start in the beginning, so
Yes.
that's what I tell myself.
Okay. You know what
Anyway,
I'm gonna do? Do you think we can share the mics of the people that's participating in the Battenberg first before we show ours?
yes, I think that will be lovely. Let's
Let's
do that.
see. Let's see.
You look at-
So Mariette,
Yes.
I got a feeling that did not share.
Okay, do you want me to try and share for my side?
Um can I ask the viewers, sorry, did that share on YouTube the video? If somebody can maybe just put a comment on there. Um we can't see another video.
Okay. Well, it's not a problem. I can just go into Canva and try and share it from my side. Let's see if that works. So while
Okay.
I'm doing that, why don't you just read the rest of the comments for us, and then I'll see what I can do on my side.
Okay. Thanks. I wonder what's happening here now. Okay. Dum dum dum. Yeah, Rosemary saying you like a challenge, and Suzette saying that you're a daredevil. Hi, Claudia. Just in time.
Oh, hi, Claudia.
Okay, y'all.
Let
So
me
it
just
definitely did not
see
share. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that,
No, don't
everyone.
stress. Things happen. Luckily, I've been on, like, I'm going to try and do it the same way as I did the pictures last time. I think it was in one of Nitty Natty's make-alongs as well that I participated in. Uh, I saw that she was also using Canva, to share her screen. So, I don't know, let's try that.
Let's see.
Why does not supposed to play yet? Okay, let's see. Let me just share my screen. We want to share this one. Okay. Are you ready, Leanie? I don't
I
know.
can,
Is this? I think you can open it up, and then
I
I'll
can
just
see
press
that.
play. I want to share and
We
present.
can see your
Let's.
screen.
All right. Should come up in a second.
There we go.
Maybe that wasn't as smooth as usual, but we got it, I think. Oh, I see
Of
Claudia say,
course.
yeah, it works. So it works.
Okay, no, thanks for that,
Oh,
Mariette. And thanks for putting it together as well. So, wow,
that's fine. It's
I'm
beautiful.
especially impressed with Suzette that's chatting with us as well. She was the first one. It's growing very nicely. And Sonia's blank. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I love it that people took the blanket blocks basically and made some completely different with them. That's very nice.
Yeah. Okay. So many squares. I agree, Claudia. Okay. Here on my side. There we go. Marie, do you want to share with us yours?
Yes, I can do that. Let me do that. All right. So, yes, as we have already established in this episode, I am always up for a challenge. So, if you are new to the Scrappy Sunday chat, you might be thinking, but that's not a Battenberg blanket. But oh, yes, it's my knitted version because I have to do things that takes more time. So, in the previous episode, I was at this marker here and I've added some more blocks. Let me try it.
Sure, it's grown.
I obviously cannot see the camera. Yes, it's grown quite a bit. I have not done as many as I would like, but anyway, it's 2 years, so we shall get there in the end. So I am using double knit, mostly acrylic yarns for this blanket. I do have some yarns that is, I think, 80% acrylic and 20% wool blends, but I'm doing it in a scrappy fashion. So every 2 rows, I change up my main color. So you'll see here, this is my main color, and then I change it to navy, and then I changed it to the blue. And then I just mix and match all of the others. So I tried to put aside enough yarn for the main colors, and then I just rummage through everything to do other pieces. So to get to this knitted blocks, I actually wrote up a little pattern on Ravelry. It's a free download for the knitted blocks, but just the blocks, how I do the blocks. I didn't do instructions for the joining because I'm just crocheting them together more or less in the same fashion as that the blocks are joined in the pattern, the original pattern by Sandra Paul. But now I'm just joining 2 sides at a time every time, and then if I add this block, I will join it on this side and this side. I did in the meantime find out that I cut my tails a specific length that gives me enough to do the crocheting. So at some point, I only had like a lot of blue blocks, and I can crochet just the bottom part and put a stitch marker in and keep it hanging like you would the normal Battenberg crochet blocks. And then I come back, and when I add the next one, I just take that stitch marker out and join it up. So that also works very nicely.
Hmm,
But
I need to
yes,
try that.
so I'm also using a 3.5 millimeter hook knitting needles for the blocks, and I'm using a 3.25 millimeter hook for the joining. And I think I did say it's all double knit yarns, even though some is not as thick as others, and others are a little bit thicker. So I try to like this one is quite thick, so this one is a little bit thinner, and this one is a little bit thinner, just to balance it out. And if I do another block on top here, I will try and do something with a little bit of a thinner TK so that this bigger block and the smaller ones just mash in quite nicely. That helps a bit. But yes,
Yeah.
that is everything from my Battenberg blanket. I'm looking forward to seeing yours.
Well done. It really grew a lot. Um,
Thank you.
Claudia saying she's in the middle of making. Oh no, wait. In the middle of making more squares, I had the idea to add something different as a border. Hmm. And then I had to whip myself back in line. But feel free to share your idea with us, please, Claudia.
Beautiful colors.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, me, I am 8 blocks behind schedule. So, I'm still just doing a little bit of the color blocks every so often when I have a chance. So, I'm doing it in batches these days instead of the planned blocks a day. But anyway, there we go. Oh, I just love it. It's so pretty. And then I didn't add anything to these free rows. This is still exactly the same as last. But I did a little bit of research, ne? Um, it was our first one for this year, our first Scrappy Sunday chat. I showed it for the first time when I started adding the blocks together, and Mincy from Naughty Habit actually contacted me afterwards, and she said, "I hope you bloomed that undyed yarn that you are using." And I was like, I did what? I did nothing to the yarn. What is this? What are you talking about? So she actually saved me a little bit by teaching me one or two things about undyed yarn. And I decided to go and do some research. And I was thinking, if you don't mind, I will share it with you guys today, about what this blooming is all about. This blooming business.
Doesn't sound very good, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
So, what is blooming? Blooming is basically you soak the yarn in water before you knit or crochet with it. So, it's especially important for undyed yarn. It just, if I can read here, it allows the fibers to expand and release any residual spinning oils or dirt that might still be present. So, like it also says here, blooming is particularly important for undyed yarns as they often have more spinning oils and dirt than dyed yarns. So, obviously, if you've watched some dyeing videos, they always wash the yarn first and prep the yarn. Um, some may require blooming in vinegar or bicarbonate of soda, um, dissolved in the water, depending on what fiber you are working with. So the process just helps to soften the yarn and make it more pliable and makes it easier to work with and creates a more even and consistent stitch definition. It can also help to prevent shrinkage or distortion of the finished project. And this is why Mincy decided she has to reach out to me. She cannot let me just continue without knowing this. So, if you don't bloom your yarn before you begin knitting or crocheting, the fiber may continue to expand and release oils and dirt, and it can cause the entire project to pull, skew, and shrink, and everything can just not be nice and square anymore, if that makes sense. So, like I mentioned, depending on what fiber you use, um, it will determine what do you need to add to the water when you do the blooming. So, for wool and animal fibers, they recommend that you use vinegar because it contains lanolin and spinning oils that remains in the yarn after the spinning process. And then the vinegar is used to remove these. The acid in the vinegar help to break it down a bit. And then plant-based fibers, like your cottons or linens, are often treated with a lot of chemicals during the spinning process as well. And for that, they recommend the bicarbonate soda dissolved in the water. Um, but is important. I just want to check these ratios so I can share with you. Um, don't go and throw a 750 ml bottle of vinegar into 2 liters of water because you can use too much. The amount of vinegar needed to bloom yarn depends on the amount of water you're going to use and the amount of yarn. So the rule of thumb is a quarter cup of vinegar or then bicarbonate of soda in 4 liters of water. But if you need to do 100 grams skein, 4 liters of water is too much. And then they would recommend a small bowl of water with just a tablespoon of vinegar or bicarbonate of soda. Because if you use too much, um, the acidity of the vinegar or the caustic properties of the bicarbonate of soda could actually damage the fibers. So just do a little bit of research and call an expert, ask an expert like Mincy to help you do it. Just a heads up.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's very interesting information. And I'm sure if you are attempting to maybe dye your undyed yarns, you really don't want too much vinegar in your yarn because it's going to affect your dye, even if it's natural or acid dyeing. Because I remember most videos of like dyeing with avo pips, you get different shades with different acidities
pHs.
or alkaline properties and things. So that will definitely affect the outcome as well if you go and throw in half a bottle or something and you just do too much.
Yeah.
But
So
that's very, very valuable information. Thank you so much.
Mincy
I'm sure
saves my
that'll help
blanket.
somebody. Yes.
Yeah.
I see Laura has left a message. I'm going to read that quickly because she asked me a question. She says, "Hello, ladies. Your scrappy projects are beautiful. I always keep all my scraps to make beanies as gifts for needy kids. I love the cowl Charlotte Marie. Just give me the name again." So this one is the Outstranding by Christie Archer. So it's got a play basically on outstanding, but it is like stranded with some scraps. It is not really designed for scraps, but I use scraps. And yeah, its name is Outstranding. It is available on Ravelry. It's a paid for pattern, but you can have a look there for it.
And Mariette, you can maybe link your project page when we are done.
I can. I'll do that. Let me make a note. Link project page. Oh, I feel like Andrea Mowry now, making notes for
Yes.
myself. I'm just not sure that I'm gonna sing.
You can sing. I'm not gonna sing.
No. Alrighty.
Okay. And I see Claudia said she loves the rustic square pattern, but maybe it's best not to mix in this case.
I have to look that up. Let me make another note. I would like to see what that looks like. Stick square. Okay.
Cool.
Goodness.
Do
Yes,
you?
that's.
Sorry,
Hmm,
I'm
no,
checking the
continue.
time here. We're 40 minutes into it, and we still need to actually do the pattern suggestions.
Exactly. Let me check if that's already happened. Just give me a second, then I will do that. Let me just open my everything everywhere with all of the information because we've got so many projects, but we always look for more. We usually do. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. I would like to share. let me try that again. Oh, share. Oh, just give me a second there. Okay. I'm gonna pop, and then you can just, when you're ready.
We can see.
Right. Okay. Right. So this pattern is the Scrappy Sunday Socks by Martha Chapman. It's actually a new pattern. It was released in January 2023. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and it's made with fingering weight yarn. It comes in 3 sizes, and it was designed to use a 12 color advent calendar. 12 color advent calendar, yes. And I was just loving the little blips of color after the stripes. I've got a thing for stripes, and these just spoke to me. And I love the fact that she has 2 different colored toes. That's just a fun thing with that. I did add it to the Scrappy Pattern Inspiration bundle on Ravelry if you're interested. So you can check it out on Ravelry. We did link it down below as well. And then for our second pattern, let me just get the second picture. There we go. So this one is looks like a lot of fun. It's the Happy Scrappy Shawl, and it's all garter stitch using fingering weight yarns and a 3.75 millimeter needle. So that's nice and quick, I think. And what I love about this one is all of the ends is little fringe. So you have no ends to weave in.
I love this.
I think it's amazing. So yeah, it is also a paid for pattern on Ravelry. She does have a pay what works scale for her patterns. So there is a little bit of a discount if you need that. And yes, it uses about 732 to 823 meters of yarn. So I think you could go a little bit with this one. And there's so many options actually. I think for those little smallest itty bitty scraps that you have, if you start using them there at the bottom point of the shawl, I think you can get away with very tiny amounts of yarn.
Yeah.
All right, let me get the last one. So the last one is a crochet pattern, and this is also just for the square, but this is the Crozy Memories blanket square. And on the pattern page, it says crochet plus cozy equals Crozy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's also a free download on Ravelry. And if I look at the pictures, it looks a lot like linen stitch.
Mm.
Is it linen stitch? I think it's linen stitch, called linen
Yes.
stitch in crochet. So yeah, I think it's amazing. Um, it needs to be sewn together, or you can maybe crochet them together. But the pattern, I actually looked at the pattern. It only gives instructions for the squares, but it's a free pattern on Ravelry, free download. So I thought, while I am now into bush memories squares, we need something crochet as well.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking, I'm sure you can just crochet them together as you go. When the one block is done, you attach it.
Oh, I'm
Similar
sure you
to
can.
what you do for Battenberg. Oh, okay. Great stuff. Thanks for the suggestions. All right.
Okay, just
Oh,
before we move on, I just want to say, if you guys have any scrappy pattern inspiration suggestions for us, please send them our way, and then we can display them here on the Scrappy Sunday Chat to give people a little bit of more inspiration on using their scraps, because lots of people are a little bit afraid of the craziness sometimes and all of the ends. So if you've got nice scrappy pattern inspiration, feel free to drop them in the comments down below and we will check them out. Thank you. Sorry, Leonie, you can continue.
No, thank you. Um, Claudia saying the rustic lace crochet square is by Crochet Tea Party. We're gonna check that out. Thanks, Claudia. And Rosemary agrees that the Happy Scrappy shawl is beautiful. Yes. Okay. Great stuff. I've got nothing left to show. I don't know if you got something there.
No, I don't have anything else to show. I was knitting on my next little square before we started in navy, of course. So I had to put that down because I need a proper
Yeah,
light to work with navy on. But
yeah.
yes, no, nothing new and exciting in the scrappy projects here on my side.
Scrappy, scrappy realm.
Yes, I'm actually.
Yeah.
I wanted to start a new project, but I haven't gotten to that yet. A little bit ago, we shared one of our pattern inspirations was a scrappy pot holder thing with cotton yarns, and
Yes.
my pot holder in the kitchen is falling apart. So I thought, after I sorted out all of these cottons and things, I want to try that and make one and see how it works. But hence being sick and trying to get better and trying to get orders out the door as I should, I did not get to that yet. But
Okay.
maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Looking forward. Looking forward to it. Okay. Now, cool. I think we can then end this. No need to delay. Thanks everybody for watching. We really appreciate you joining us on a Sunday evening. Yeah. Oh, even my cat is chasing me on here. Um,
Shame.
like I said, thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed it. And please join us again next time.
Yes,
Mariette?
from my side, thank you so much for joining us for this, and we always look forward to it. We hope that you enjoyed it, and if it's maybe your first time, you can consider going and having a look at all of the other ones and catch up with all the lovely projects of our guests that we had so far. And yeah, we shall see you next month. Thank you for being here, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.